Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome back. Let me
Hi.
just make sure our audio is working.
Sisters.
Our cameras are working.
Olo.
I am gonna just
Oh, my breath feels so much better.
bump
Fine.
the
I should
exposure.
just wear that.
So, folks, you might notice we're on the couch. We want to be comfortable. We're not going to be doing a bunch of rolling tonight. It's probably going to be a shorter session, and by probably I mean guaranteed. So we are at the end of the campaign, and we are sunsetting the characters right now. So we decided to be a little more comfortable, a little more relaxed, and the sun's going down behind us, so I'm going to have to keep noticing and playing with the exposure on the cameras. Dan, do you want to take us away?
Yeah, welcome back. This is Adventure Corp. We play D&D on Mondays, 6 to 10 Mountain Standard Time. So if you want to get on here and watch us over live, the best place is Twitch, like you are right now. If you don't have time to watch on Twitch, you can find our past videos on YouTube. And if you don't have time to watch at all and you drive a lot or things like that, or you're at the gym, you can actually get us on podcasts wherever you find those. Apple, Spotify, Audible. Also, we have a Discord if you want to get in there and interact with us on Discord, play some games, that kind of thing. Get on the Discord. But yeah, thanks.
Okay, it is recording. Yeah, folks, welcome back.
Somebody tell us if we got sound.
I think I will do the recap from last session just to kind of situate us where we left off. So, with Wogros defeated, the party had only a few major issues remaining. One was Sylphie was trying to fight a god.
For fun.
For funsies. She had a meeting with her goddess that convinced
so
her.
fucking jealous. Guys, have you ever had your goddess personally call you to her house to tell you not to fuck other gods? Because I've had a goddess personally come to my doorstep, give me her house key, and say, please keep coming over because I don't want you fucking any other gods.
That is an excellent way to describe it. Yeah, her goddess was concerned. What did I do? What happened?
We're in a relationship, guys. Me and Raylan. Me and Raylan have many babies.
The other issue was that Jasmine was kind of proto becoming a Death Knight.
No.
Kind of
I just had a weird arm.
She had a weird arm.
You're right. No, it wasn't kinda. You were becoming a Death Knight.
I was not at all.
Classic Arthas.
No. I did not kill anybody.
That you remember.
You killed your own dad. Well, he was dead already, but like, well, not your dad, but like
great grandpa.
Your grandfather.
You killed the doppelganger versions of your family.
Some of them.
Sometimes you gotta kill
See, classic Arthas.
So Retha, the student of the Darkstain, the Lich,
who was
using Jasmine for experiments, had her ritual to ascend to becoming a
fan art to follow
underway. Jasmine began sowing seeds of doubt in Retha's mind about the coming ritual and the Darkstain. The ritual, however, began. The party arrived, and the Darkstain admitted, "Yeah, this ritual is not what it seems."
This was a setup all along, guys.
And in fact, it is too late. It has started. You guys fought against her as Retha fought against being transformed into a bone claw, ultimately and becoming a servant to the Darkstain. As Elise Sorvel's body fell, the Darkstain revealed her true form, the shadow hanging at its feet. She escaped to her lair at the top of the mountain, and you all returned home with Danon's corpse, who had died during the battle. You did a magical ritual attempting to divine the Darkstain's true name as you wished to summon her using
Legend
Lore. What a great spell.
Cast Legend Lore. You guys did well. You managed to learn her true name and pull Darianne through the gate, trapping her soul with a powerful spell as the party ripped into her upon her appearance.
She was like, can you guys come to my house? And we said, no, we're going home and inviting you over.
No, bitch, you're coming home.
We're actually going all the way home to invite you over, actually.
Yeah, if you ever play in one of Isaac's campaign, Legend Lore, fantastic. Don't ever roll any history checks, anything like Arcana, nothing. Legend Lore and Legend, that's all you
unironically.
Anything he makes is legendary and Worthy of an entire.
Where's the
Ironically,
tavern?
we solved almost every problem with legend lore this campaign.
Where's
The leaky hut, the place of legend and lore.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for the local tavern. Roll a legend. History check, not legend check. Did you roll? Oh, you got a 21. You don't get any information.
Yeah.
Sorry, you need
Yeah.
a 25.
You're
So,
not sure.
with legend lore, I will sometimes give much more esoteric answers if you don't know as much about what you're asking into. For instance, in my
Like a
Tuesday
genie.
campaign, they asked after something they had very little information about and had to ask very broadly about, and I gave them the following rhyming cutlets. Grim paint drying, death without dying, sea of names unwrought, erased and forgot, some for killing hunger slake, some for children's sake. So legend lore isn't always a direct path to the answer. It might just be a bunch of hints that won't make sense till later.
But see that he liked that
But
so much that he
sometimes
brought
it
it up
can-
again
I
to
was
say on
very
stream.
proud of that. I was quite proud of that one, yeah.
But sometimes it can lead you down a chain of the best shit ever to completely unearth this entire world.
Yep.
You just legend lore into the other thing that's in there to legend lore into the next thing, and I got a different name of somebody.
I want to open.
My favorite thing is going, Isaac, what's the sword do? Oh, you don't know. Legend lore. I have a book that lets me cast any spell I want unprepared. Legend lore.
I want a library that snipes whatever circle as soon as you can cast legend lore on stuff, and they're just rattling off anything anyone wants to know on. They have 10 wizards all cast legend lore using the new information to get it more and more specific, and they write it all down.
You've been invited to join a very special library. The benefits are great, and your options are limited.
Benefits are great, and you have no other options.
I actually just finished reading a series called The Battle Mage Farmer,
Okay.
and they have basically a cosmic library
Yeah.
that floats around the universe, and every 100 years, because there's a whole bunch of sectors, every 100 years they hold a tournament to see who's the best kind of magician.
Yeah.
But basically their entire thing is just to gather lore and have a library.
Yeah.
And they give out tokens to people who do things. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love that. I love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I especially love when it's like, the ancient race, they didn't die off. They just retreated to do their own thing. And every time they come back and throw us some cookies if we give them what they want. But other than that, we can't really contact them.
We don't really, we think they actually gone, but they actually went up the Eternal Tower to the next plane.
Yeah, they're watching.
Yeah. They're over level 250. You see, this one can only have up to level 250. You think they're dead and gone? You're just finding the bones of the shit that they didn't want to take with them.
Yeah, we're live television to them. Right. So that's where we left last session off. The last thing that happened was that Jasmine was exorcised of the last remnants of this
I
magic.
cut her arm off.
Arm and leg taken off.
And then I also had to cut Cyrus's arm off at the elbow.
Yeah, Cyrus was.
Maybe you should have just cut off all my limbs and reattached them just so they would match. You know?
This one just feels too new, you know?
Jasmine,
It's like when you pop a tire, it's like, just replace all.
Yeah,
Just give it.
celebrities just it's not plastic surgery. They just get their limbs chopped off and regrown.
Gets a mosquito bite. She's like, fuck, clone me, kill me.
Yeah.
Right. So, where we're taking off today is talking about what happens after the campaign, what our characters do from here, and maybe giving me a little clue as to where we might find them in the future. Who wants to start? Dan, it's looking like you.
Sure. We can kind of talk back and forth about things.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have anything role play wise that I need to go through.
Okay.
So the big thing that I want to talk about is the hub and
Yes.
kind of the lore of this, and we can go further into detail of how long, or we can talk.
I like the idea of we'll start with what we do immediately and see if there's any stuff we do together,
But I don't have
and
any. of
then from there sort of go further
Sure.
into the future.
Yeah, if we want to talk about the next year or so, and then we'll just popcorn off of that.
Mm-hmm.
That works
Sure.
for me.
Why don't you give us a timeline, and we'll each do a turn talking what happens in the time.
About a year.
Sure. In the next year, Cyrus would probably consolidate what he's got going on there. He would probably try to ignore and deal with the astral people from that one dick company.
Huh?
He would probably try to get the rest of his gates. I wanted to. Oh, so one thing I wanted to.
For free?
I rolled my wish because I'm using probably the last one of the wishes I'm going to use.
Okay.
But I was going to talk to you if I don't have to.
Okay.
Something I wanted to do with my portal is I have like the teleportation circle.
Right.
I want to have a portal that is an archway that kind of has. I have this idea of um an archway that's connected to all of these different like portals, and they build it in, and then it has a stone. Like, so say somebody's on the other side and they want to come over,
Okay.
they would go in there and they would touch there, and it would show up like, oh, blue, we have somebody from the water plane trying to come here. The guy on our side, I have like this scrying glass, and he could touch it, and the scrying glass only scries to the areas of the other portals.
Okay. Yeah.
As we can see who it is, and then he just touches the thing and he moves a stone over to the portal. Like there's like a little thing,
Yeah.
like a dial thing that he can move.
Yeah.
And then once he moves it over onto that, like the blue one, then the portal opens and the people can come through.
Yeah, that's probably possible.
Instead of having like a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
ones, I just want to have like one portal.
Yeah.
That can go in between all of the different planes.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. It's
I still have to build the connections. I still have to
Yeah.
go there and get the portals and link them.
Yeah, I think timeline wise, getting that all set up is probably going to take Cyrus at least like 10, 20 years. And it is definitely possible.
So that's what I would be trying to do.
Okay.
I would be like, yeah, like working on that, having that portal. So I just have the teleportation circle for the material plane, and then the portal for all of the other ones that I get.
Okay.
And then having like same thing, having that scrying dish, like the scrying globe there for the
Yeah.
people that run the portals.
Yeah.
The same thing for the teleportation circle. I want to have a thing where somebody's like, okay, they want to come. We get a thing, and then we can scry who's coming, and then move that thing to activate the portal.
That's doable in a more limited sense. So you could have some major nexus points that you connect with where it's like, okay, this city has a public teleportation circle. People, like, we've given them our sigil to come here. So we know when people are coming here, you could set up something where there's like, oh, someone's coming from there, we scry on it. But anybody, if they have your sigil, can use it with the spell. So you wouldn't be able to have something that scries on anybody coming from anywhere. But you could have like relationships set up with certain places that are like most of your traffic.
Sure, but I'm saying so we don't even let's say we don't even have like the scrying thing. I'm just saying we have a thing with like a light or some type of thing that shows, oh, somebody's trying to come over.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and then we have to put a stone to like complete the circle
Mm.
to allow. So it's not just a free for all.
Yeah, that's very doable. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If you wanted to do it in a more broad sense, it would require creating a spell and putting it in there. But that is within your capabilities. You have the time
Yeah,
and
so those
resources
would be the
to
two
do that.
things there, and then just expanding the hub, expanding the um like who's in there. The other thing I wanted to do was kind of because I have like the hub with my wish that I did there, like a pretty safe space kind of thing.
Mhm.
I wanted to start a 2-year um kind of like what would you call it? Like not like a term of service, but where somebody could come in and they could be an elite guard for the hub.
Okay.
And after you like you could basically after 2 years, or you do a 2-year term as a guard, and then you could have it like on your resume, oh, I was a guard of this place kind of thing. I try to attract like higher tier guards and stuff like
I
that.
see.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it sounds to me like you're thinking something along the lines of like, how can I make this prestigious enough to attract a higher caliber of people that would then make people want to have this in their history, basically, right?
Yeah. And
Maybe
then
maybe you try and like uh recruit like some high, renowned adventurers to do it first, and then start saying like you could be like this guy, come do
yeah,
this, put on your resume, and it just sort of
get
goes
some
from there.
high like that kind of thing. And then the other thing like this would be if Adalia wants to, but open up that like basically that bardic or music school through the hub. It would maybe be a smaller one, whatever she wants to do, but she could have some students that are like creation and working on the song creation.
Okay. Yeah. I think probably your best bet for attracting a higher caliber of people would be um, to host something that would make it more prestigious. If you did like annual tournaments.
I have
or
a
stuff
few different things. Remember, so the track, the race
like. Mm-hmm.
derby track
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I have Adalia's school, right?
Mhm.
I have the I could do some type of like harvest festival for the merchants like once a year. Have
Well, I
like
just mean if you're trying to attract like higher level people to come work here, is that my understanding?
yeah
That's correct.
yeah
So yeah, you're going to want like what would make someone who is more capable than your average guard want to come and work at a place like this, right? Either it's going to be really good pay, connections to something that's important to them, or it's well renowned and saying they worked there would be prestigious, right?
Okay, so what if I kind of like a combination of things? Sorry, 1 second. So like do a combination of things, like the renown, the good pay, and then I could have like the racetrack and have like once a year have a tournament where
Okay.
the guards normal people have to pay like good money to get in to the tournament,
Okay.
but being a guard or part of it automatically gets you a seat on the tournament if you're good enough, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there might be hundreds of people in the tournament, but maybe 25 or 50 of those seats are guaranteed to my guard force. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could do something like that where it's like, here's a big tournament. It's very prestigious to win it. The prize is very attractive,
Yeah.
but it's invite only, and there's only so many invites that go out, and a certain number of those invites are kept separate for your own guard force, and then people would want to
Yeah.
join your guard force as a ticket to prove themselves
Basically,
and get in on the tournament.
let's say there's 250 people that are in the tournament. I have 50 of those seats guaranteed for myself. The rest are auctioned.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you could do it on your own, but you might be going against some little lord's baron's boy
Mm-hmm.
who's putting 50,000 gold, and you
Mhm.
can't compete.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, and then other than that, like
that fits in really well with Clouds too. If you provided the major sects with a certain number of seats, like you had 250, each of the three major sects got
Yeah, they
50.
do love
Each of the
fighting.
families got like 10 or 15. You kept 50 for yourself, and then there was some left over to auction off. Would play really well into the
I
culture.
would
of the
offer
area.
them a certain amount. I wouldn't it would be like an unspoken, like I would accept some type of tribute or something like that. But yeah, they would all get like 10 or 50. What is going on?
That's Runa's notification
Okay.
or text messages.
Yeah, sure, that would like stuff like that. And then yeah, I don't know, you could tell me of some things that come up.
You know what I want.
And then just like Cyrus would, well, that's down the road, but he would just more and more the stronger he gets, he'd elementalize more, get closer to um I don't think he'd ever become a Jinn, but he would be getting closer to becoming like a true elemental.
Okay.
And then eventually get to the point where he'd have to leave the plane, but he would keep close ties with the people on the elemental plane.
So the question, in that vein, for me becomes, there's kind of two routes that would be immediately obvious to Cyrus. There is either go more the elemental route and join the order that the elementals keep, or to go your own route, which would be more like developing a fire divinity that is not directly elemental. Um, as like a class, as an order, which would be the more traditional route of people who are leaving the plane to develop their divinity and attempt towards godhood,
We're cold, chat.
and then eventually get killed.
You get
by
to see us
Dolir.
be
But, yeah.
comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would go like the divinity route, like,
Okay.
but I could maybe do that. I could elementalize and try to do that from another plane too, right? You know what I mean? Over time.
Uh,
So, for example, I could elementalize. Like my body becomes more and more like elemental to the point where I become like a fire elemental, but I hold my form, I guess.
yeah. So the thing is, if you go
I'm
the
more
elemental
fire than
route,
human.
you will start to fall into the same kind of alien patterns of thought that the elementals have. So it would be unlikely for somebody to go the elemental route to then switch towards the divine. And if your character's not more interested in the divine, he could just do however much leaning into the elemental, however much of his humanity he wanted to keep would be up to him.
So I can bridge the middle where I can just basically where I've gone to the other plane because I have to and I'm too strong for here.
Yeah.
But the connections and the people I have through the hub and through the material plane keep me human enough, and I come
Yeah.
back to visit enough to keep myself from going full walkabout.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, like anything with age, as time goes on, he would get more and more alien and probably lean more and more towards the elementals. But we're
But
talking
that's
on
thousands of years.
thousands of years. Yeah.
So like the one
that
thing I
makes
would
perfect
do
sense.
eventually is like I would build
You'll be fine.
a palace on the like the I don't want it because my dad's flying around all over the place all the time.
Hmm.
I would build a palace on the fire plane that has my own plane like planar gate right to the hub, so that I'm one gate away from uh from the hub all the time. So like, and I'd be like a close advisor, close person
Where does it freaking
for anybody that's at the hub, and I would stay in close contact. It would still be my thing that I'm managing. I'm just doing it from the other side of the
Right. Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to be looking this way. Damn.
And like delegating and that kind of thing.
Yes.
But that's kind of what Cyrus would do, and he just continued to like like he would keep the thing that he doesn't care about money,
Okay.
but he's absolutely amassing and just amassing an ungodly amount of it to security and
I don't
stability.
care about money.
and
I
b-
just have a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't-
That's
I
So,
that's
but-
so real.
so the
I don't
one
care
thing-
about money, but I am working towards it.
No, but you're missing the reason of what I'm trying to say. He doesn't give a shit about it, but having it removes the fact of he never has to have a conversation about I can't do this for someone because I don't have.
Yeah, you're allowed
It's
to
always
speed.
I'm doing and no one can tell me I can't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I do, and therefore I do because I have.
Yeah.
And having enough money to basically just he wants to have the fuck off money to build and do and help and save whoever he wants
That's
to.
so real, though. Like,
And and basically he wants to have
I want to just oppress people.
no,
What?
Dan is correct. Fuck off money sounds great.
what I'm trying to say is he wants it because he's just the hub, right?
Mhm.
But he wants to have the power where if a sect or merchants or small kingdom and stuff like that come after him, he has enough of the fuck off money that he can cause enough problems to deter those type of things from fucking with his people.
Yeah.
He'll be like, okay, great. I'll just use an example, like a little country like what's that one below us, Barath. The one with the we went there. The
The burning tree one?
no
Wait,
the wolf the monster ones Eberron or
Eberron?
no. Just don't say anything if you don't have the answer.
I'm lost as well.
No, we went there and we fought them. They were the beast men.
Oh yeah, to the north. Yes.
I thought it started with an E or something.
So
Eastwood.
No.
no, is the people to the north. I'm just gonna.
I thought maybe we took that was when we met the crocodiles.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. It's they've got the Beastmasters.
Yeah. Is that with the white crocodile?
Yeah, my albino crocodile, I think.
Ezekiel.
Honestly, I'm just gonna open up Foundry.
I think it's
because
actually in my character notes, which is crazy because it was that early in the campaign. So keep it
Foundry's
going.
fantastic. This is we have
Oh yeah, next campaign I'm keeping none. For fun.
no notes.
I'm gonna keep it all in my head.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It's fun to do that too because then it forces you to like what would my character remember it? Did my character write it down?
I still remember at the beginning of the campaign, we're like, we're gonna keep better notes, and then it was just Runa.
I have
It's difficult for me to
pretty
take notes.
decent character, like, and a pretty decent list of NPCs.
Ebgarzan.
Yeah, so
Crimes
like,
of Ebgarzan.
That's what I.
let's say. So the whole point I was trying to get at is,
Never
let's say,
listen to me.
You also said Evelyn? Go ahead, Daniel.
let's say Edgarzon was causing problems for the hub.
Yeah.
I could just pay one of the sects or pay another to be like, hey, Like that's what I'm trying to say. I want to have enough money and influence to be able to do that kind of shit.
I got it. Yeah.
I'm not out causing problems, and most of that just offering a safe haven for people that don't. I talked to me about like um I forget what my race is even.
Gymnast.
Like Genasi originally, but for the races that don't have places or don't have countries, or like, oh, you're a turtle, you're the only turtle in this entire city,
Fuck turtles.
and you don't have a place or a family or a creed. Like that's what I want the hub to be.
Right.
The savage,
Yes.
uncultured
Sure.
goblin.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Got it.
So, do you have any questions for me about anything?
I don't.
So,
Go ahead.
I had like a question about like Darrow and the Wish, and I'm not gonna like he wouldn't use it all the time, but definitely I have used it.
Okay.
Is anything come up there?
Darrow. What do you mean, Darrow?
Oh, sorry. Fucking
Ballo?
Ballo.
So as long as you don't use wish to like cause a big disturbance that would get back to him, no. And it would have to be a pretty big disturbance to get back to him.
Yeah.
So
wish
I
that all
can't.
liches die.
I can't think of anything that you've described coming close to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the stuff for Cyrus.
Okay. Alex.
I have a question for Cyrus, which is, can Rosethorn Apparel get the contract to outfit your guards?
Sure.
Yes. They're gonna look so spiffy.
I don't have a clothing company.
Yeah, you do now.
Sure.
What is Jasmine's original name again?
Lyra, I believe.
Yeah, Lyra. Lyra Rosethorn. I wrote it down.
Triggered.
I wrote it down the minute we saw your missing paper, like the wanted person paper.
Yeah.
That called you Lyra. I was
Yeah.
like,
I better put that down.
But how do you know they were right, huh?
because you reacted.
Maybe I was pretending to react.
Yeah,
That's what you want me to believe.
Fool your allies. Most important part.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex. Tell me about the next year for Jasmine Jade Lyra.
The next year probably is pretty chill. Like, they aren't super ambitious, but eventually, like, Jasmine would get bored and start doing things.
Okay.
So, like, I want Lothluer to be cool. Not sure how long it'll take to be cool, but like advertising, free access to our teleportation sigil, obviously, like, with some defensive backup plans if that is misused, but we aren't a aggressive, power-hungry state.
You get immediately bombarded.
We're a state of pleasure, and everyone is welcome.
Until someone takes advantage of it.
But yeah, I want the Arcanum to help me make it cool with all sorts of little enchanted
Like
doodads in the street, very like Disney World-y.
Vegas.
Yeah.
So kind of cutting edge sort of
like
city.
very lots of money into just the vibe. You feel cool for being there.
The motto is we totally never had any doppelgangers here. No doppelgangers exist. Please come here. Your friend couldn't be a doppelganger.
Yeah.
True sight on every gate.
Yeah.
Man, they're really worried about doppelgangers for a place that has never had doppelgangers. Yeah, well, that's how you keep doppelgangers
Yeah,
out.
why are all shape changers banned from Lothluer in entirety forever?
You're a druid, you need to wear this bracelet your
Yeah.
entire stay.
Yeah.
Hey, I see you shifted without your bracelet to the slammer.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? World War II?
Yeah.
You put
We
numbers
have-
on their wrists and put them in a cap? What?
We have a whole like
Hello?
Yeah. We need,
World War II.
all right. We need to identify and separate the druids from the rest of
Holy
society.
fuck, guys!
Oh boy.
But no,
Moving on.
if an animal is under question, we have a whole area with a variety of sizes of cage where we keep that animal for 24 hours to see if they turn into a person. And if not, they get a little like paint mark or something that they're yeah, it's like this is a real squirrel. We're fine, guys.
Oh, like, can you imagine the science that would come out of that? It's like, yeah, we actually didn't know where eels had babies, but then we started keeping track of every single eel because they look like little freaks, and now we know everything about eels.
They're little freaks in nature, aren't you, little
Yeah.
eel? We're little freak in nature, you.
You actually become a haven of like bioscientists.
Yeah. A lot about the platypuses. These creepy little
Yeah.
fucks.
In the same vein, like Rosethorn Apparel, like they both kind of benefit from proximity. Of Rosethorn Apparel is this high-end Gucci-esque fashion brand
Mm-hmm.
that does not use goblins and kobolds to make the majority of their
What's going on? World War II and now labor camps? Why is there kids involved now?
Look,
It's not fast fashion.
Yeah.
Okay.
this isn't utopia, this is fantasy.
Okay.
Look,
Sure, guys.
yeah,
God.
everything
What
is
are
possible.
you guys thinking about right now?
Look, everything is possible except the fair treatment of all people.
What's next? The two towers? You're running out of disasters.
A
to
second
quote.
Pegasus says, hit the wizard tower.
Don't go. Please.
Okay, that's going on the t-shirt list.
No!
It's going on the t-shirt list. For sure.
Raven's gonna get it.
And then,
He's not gonna know him.
yeah, so Roadsword Apparel, I'm gonna try and get more distribution, more celebrity endorsements. Like, did you know Evan Drale, the legendary hero? He wears Rosethorn apparel everywhere he goes.
Right.
Geisel?
Gotta
She
get
fights in
endorsements.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, just like one scrap of cloth, that's what you want. We have to make it a little fancier, guys. So we
I just want something to cover my boobs. No.
Anywhere but that.
can we put like Eddie Bedazzling, like anywhere. We have the highest paid people in the world.
The way I glisten is through blood.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me go kill another bandit count really quick.
Yeah. That's
She's like, I'm trying to have a glow up. I need a killing spree.
Guys, I need my fix to kill 300 people.
Yeah.
Going in the freeze.
Dr. Frankenfurter style, so I can kill you again.
Go on.
Yeah. Probably like keeps in touch with people, but doesn't leave Lothlorien very much.
Okay.
Just turns Lothlorien into the place she always wants to be.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Isaac.
Yes.
If everybody does fuck off, I would offer Minnow and all them a place at the hub.
Mirror's following me.
And they
And then I
can
would be
work
sticking
for
with
him.
Sylvie for sure.
Okay, yeah,
It's
sure.
like the perfect.
Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, Alex, anything else?
Yeah. I was just thinking about it, and then I was thinking about Minnow being enslaved to Cyrus for the
What?
rest of their miserable life.
I'm really obsessed with her. I think about it every time she comes out.
She's a water girl. It'd be so funny if she could deserve the fire boy.
She just evaporates. Honey, you're so hot.
Oh my god.
Ignore my guard. My mouth hurts.
That would be a good enemies to lover trope, though, because Minnow did not approve of Cyrus at first.
Cyrus, do you want an enemies to lovers?
No. Cyrus can't have kids anyways.
There's a weird power dynamic.
Yeah, she's been
We can
her
abuse
whole life.
the smaller and more defenseless races in this
What?
world, but we should not
Okay,
take
hold on.
advantage of
I just want to
workplace
be. I just
relationships.
want to be clear. I want to be clear. You're throwing that vibe out a lot. That's not the vibe. That is like I don't want that to be canon.
No, he was making a joke about
No, but the
we
whole like
draw the line at
indentured
workplace
servitude.
relationships.
No, but like the indentured servitude, the taking advantage of. Like I want to make sure that that's not the.
No. He was making a joke about like, oh, we're fine with that. We draw the line at having relationships with your superiors,
Oh,
your coworkers.
I understand. I'm just talking about the last 10 minutes of
Yeah.
of the jokes he's been making.
There's like, oh,
Same.
the like politics of the surrounding region. I want to like a year is pretty short, but to start moving towards like I no longer have this like dark stain threat protection
Yeah.
that kind of
Literally.
existed before.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that like basically people know that I'm not trying to power grab for stuff. I'm happy in my little thing.
Okay.
I'm happy to make partnerships with the people around me to make my stuff more accessible to them
Yeah.
and to their people. For just like free popularity points that their people get to go to the cool place
Yeah.
easier. Um,
But nothing that touches too close on
yeah,
anything
yeah.
contentious in the
We
world
are
of
we are a
politics.
sovereign little state.
Technically not sovereign.
Well, whatever. We are self-contained.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you keep your dealings to the commercial end, and
Yeah.
and make a point of staying out of the
Yeah.
politics and power struggle.
Very, very Switzerlandy. I don't want to take a side on something and have the other side not send their people to my day spas.
Yeah.
Very neutral party.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
hiring adventurers, to clear lands, to make more resorts, to right, like
Mhm.
some job creation in there.
Expansion and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how high the quality of life is for the people who live there. Like, I don't know if you've been outside of the strip in Vegas, but it kind of like, you're like, you live in Vegas. Why is it all so shitty?
It's actually not bad.
No, it's not terrible, but it's you'd imagine everyone there is like a rich aristocrat, and there's probably just like a lot of people who are work retail at their local.
I think of it more like a Tampa Bay,
My friend
Florida.
lives in Vegas,
Yeah.
and they had casinos in their university.
That's crazy.
That's fucked.
That's crazy.
I see it like you have your Disney World, and then all of the employees who like live just
Yeah.
outside of it,
Yeah,
and
lots of
it's like pretty Florida.
yeah, because almost everyone who lives there works in customer service to
Mhm.
some degree, right? They're like butlers or handmaidens or like tour
Preppers.
guides
Well,
or
you're
like
going
personal guards
you're-
and that kind of thing.
you're
Like,
gonna need a population that
Yeah.
can also maintain. Like you're still gonna have a lot of blacksmiths and house builders and stuff. So
Yeah.
it won't all be
it's not all, but
serving the people who come through. You'll have a larger portion than normal, but you're
Mhm.
gonna need your weavers. You're gonna need your everything, right? So
goblins mostly for the weavers. But
okay. Anything else?
I think that's it. Like for year one, for
Okay.
sure.
Runa, do you have anything?
Nope.
Okay. Right. Then, in that case, I don't have anything to add after year one. Does anybody have anything about what comes after? Dan, we kind of did a pretty comprehensive, well
Yeah, I'm
past year
pretty
one.
done.
Hi, Alex. I'm sorry Twitch won't let you say hi.
Oh, what the fuck? Hi, Alex. Nice to see
Just text me. I'll be your Twitch
Howdy.
you.
chat.
Yeah. Runa will be Twitch chat for you. So Alex, what else do you have?
Oh, well,
And I thought you had some stuff you wanted to role play as well.
maybe. I don't know. It's not.
Is this satisfying
not-
your need?
It's not essential. Like, yeah, if it we're sort of vibing more towards just like explaining over role playing, and I'm kind of fine with that.
Okay.
I think like the next thing that I'm curious about in like after like year one as things start to properly settle, is like kids and
Mm.
futures, and if anything comes up around political marriages and complications in politics and Dane and all that stuff.
Okay. Well, first, hi, Mizuno. I see your hearts. Love you too. For kids, so I know that Danon has not given any thought to children at all, and is probably not going to. So if that's something Jasmine is interested in, he would go towards that. As for your princeling husband, yeah, he wants kids. He would want a lot of kids, actually.
Wants to pump you full of seed.
Take that man, semen.
Yeah, he probably wants like 6 to 12 kids.
Chain you up.
What?
Chain you up like a brood.
However,
Have you ever seen people with kids? Is he Mormon?
I mean,
Why did he have 12 kids?
I mean, what
he's royalty.
race is he?
No, I have a relative that they had 22 kids.
The only people that I know that have many kids are Mormons.
Well, in this day and age,
There's a lot of yeah.
Lots of where?
They're in a population crisis, so I don't know if our like current like
I know a-
social norms around.
I know a
60
family
kids
that
are-
I know a family that has about 10 to 11 kids.
Yeah, the one I know is 22.
I went to elementary with school with her daughter. She still has a kid in elementary.
Okay, I gotta find him.
I thought it was like a tiefling or something.
Yeah, but she's not.
No, I thought
There's
it was
so
Oni.
many random men who have had stuff to do with Jasmine. I typed in Jasmine and I have 22 entries, and most of them are in different men's character descriptions.
Yep,
I wonder why.
that's so weird. Yeah, I just leave my mark. I guess.
From Isaac.
Not
Yeah.
that.
Isaac.
His name is Prince Roth.
Yeah.
If you need
Yeah.
the name.
Oh, okay. That does help. Yeah. That helps a lot.
The information he needed, us
Huh?
keeping it from him.
I just assume I see
Prince
stuff.
Roth. Okay, he is indeed a tiefling.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he's not gonna live that long.
Yeah. The other difficulty is you're an elf, so you're also.
I'm gonna fucking outlive the shit
Yeah.
out of
Yeah. Well, and
him
also
and the next couple generations of his
And
family.
Darren.
birth rate is not very high. So he's definitely not going to get what he wants.
How long are elves pregnant for? Is it still just?
It's about the same. Yeah.
Unless I just take longer. Well,
When does Danon die?
no, Damon's also an elf.
Dan is also an elf, I
So we
believe.
lucked
Nice.
out in that regard.
You planned your guy out really well.
Hey, look, I've ran into this
Yeah,
problem
he is
in the
indeed an
previous
That's
campaign,
why I
and
made-
I don't want to be sad again.
That's why I made my character human. Look past me.
Yeah. So he will want to have kids with you. Danon would be happy to just be an uncle to all of the kids.
Okay.
But yeah, you would probably by the numbers end up with like 2 or 3 kids.
Deal.
They would probably be quite spread out as well. So you would probably be in the situation where like there's like 18 or so years between each kid.
Wow, that's like the worst possible spread if you don't want to be a parent. Like 50 years of
You have staff. You don't have to raise them.
Alex,
no,
are
I
you-
definitely don't.
That's
Are
great.
you really being even a parent? You probably have
No,
full-time nannies that are around the clock.
I don't know if you guys have seen House of the Dragon, but there's a whole lot of my baby, it's crying. Get with it. I've had my 2 minutes
I
of
think
child
a
time
lot
for the
of-
day.
Royalty back in the day did very little, like the
Yeah.
cooking, cleaning, educating, sleeping, burping, all
Yeah.
of that happens. And then it was like we might eat together and we might go on a hunt or like have some family time, and that's about all the parenting they do.
What I think is a funny idea is that Danon actually ends up like spending more quality time with them, like getting up to trouble than Jasmine does, because she's like in full. You know, what's her name from Jurassic World?
Never watch a bad movie.
Well, let me just tell
Just
you that
like-
right away.
She's a very put together business lady
Okay.
kind of thing.
Runs in her
like,
heels.
yeah, like CEO mom.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
totally.
I feel like that's sort of her vibe.
Danon also grew up in a thing where like everyone was kind of kids together and there was the older kids. So the scene that jumped to my mind was like 40 years later, and Danon and you are still young as ever. Your husband is like aging, and he gets in like a fight with Danon, and is like, "Oh, I'll break you up." And Danon's like, "Let's sit down and have a talk, okay?" So listen, one, you're not getting rid of me. Okay, she loves me. There's no way she's leaving me. And two, all of your kids love me more than you. I could bring your entire world crashing to the ground. Don't pick this fight. Just live out your last 30 years. Okay. Yeah, I think Danon probably would be the one not wanting to be having kids would probably be the most fatherly
Yeah,
figure
I
out of
don't,
all
I don't
of
want a cat. I don't want a cat.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like your friends.
Yeah.
She becomes a part of the group.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens if we're jumping even further ahead?
Yeah.
Post Prince Roth, sort of into the centuries.
Yeah, it depends how long you want to stick around the material plane. Are you in it for the long haul?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're going to see a lot of change over, close to 1,000 years of life left. I mean, by the end of it, the country will probably have changed hands, like
Yeah.
30 times maybe. Um, so, I mean, it's kind of too far to really predict. It's
Yeah.
more about what you would hold. If you're keeping neutral like this, that would eventually become like something that showed up as very prescient and almost like alien to people you talk to. Where it's like, how could you stay neutral when the horrors are happening? And it's like, I want my country to survive,
Yeah.
and these horrors happen every 40 years. And I can get involved in these ones, and they're still going to happen in 40 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you just want to keep your little thing around as like, we'll nominally be part of whatever empire comes, and if they don't push us too far, then everything's fine. Yeah, you would just see a lot of change, and if you wanted to stick around and protect your little bubble, I'm sure there's times that would be challenged, but you're also a fairly powerful figure with powerful friends. So, you would probably be a little
Yeah.
bastion of
So
constant.
you don't want me to be here? Let me call Erd. He'll crush
Yeah. No, I think and I see Jasmine like over 1,000 fucking years because she's only like 30 right now. Like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
a baby elf.
Almost certainly you hand off the day to day to other people.
Yeah.
And the way I think about elves is that, like anything that goes on long enough, the interest comes in waves. So there's probably periods where you have very little to do with the country, and then it's like, oh, why are we at war with all our neighbors? We're going to be destroyed. Like, step in and do something about it. And then other periods where you're
What
in
is
the
the
mood
fashion
to
trend right now? I need
Yeah.
to get back in
Yeah,
charge so
that's
they
probably
stop
more
fucking
likely.
dressing like this. Who started this trend? I can't even fucking deal with it.
But yeah, your interest in like will probably shift back and forth and have different flavors throughout the years. So honestly, what's most important is like what is Jasmine's home like? And sometimes that home is
Mhm.
going to involve the entire kingdom, but probably for a lot of it, it's just going to be like this is where the power is if it needs
Early
to be.
90s?
Hello, early 90s.
I just realized Juno was writing. I hope you. No, I'm drawing!
You thought you were crashed out napping?
Here, wait, look. I can show you.
Can you even see her on the camera?
Yes, yeah, she's in the
Okay.
middle of us. She just on her iPad.
I don't see it.
You can see bits of it. Oh, that's definitely the best. Yeah.
I did have a question
I'm
then as
drawing a
well.
unicorn and a moth.
What's your question?
Well, so we were talking about hundreds of years later, Isaac.
Yeah.
So like the question I have about the hub is like, let's say in 150, 200, 300 years, the hub changes, or sorry, clouds changes hands for the country, right?
Yeah.
Like that's going to change hands quite a bit, or
Yeah, probably. Yeah. At the very least, the powers within it are going to change. I mean, the clans and the sects have been around for hundreds of years,
Yeah.
which is longer than normal. But eventually they will be replaced, sometimes violently, sometimes
okay.
by slow
So but the
accumulation.
hub is kind of going to be there, but um, like be
That's-
there regardless of what
A staple.
what type of people are
landmark.
there. Kind of thing, just because I'm so tightly tied to it, they would have to fight me to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I don't care who's in the country or who's in control. I just care that my place is there to protect people. I'm like, yeah, you guys can have a country here, whatever, but fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah, as long as you stay out of like supporting any one side, then
Nope, very much
people would
just doing
probably
my own thing. Leave me
Yeah.
alone. I'll do my
But
own thing.
if
I'll
you
bring in a
become
lot
like
of
a
trade.
hub for arms traders for one of the countries, now you're starting to pull yourself into the wider conflicts. So it is for something like that, it's in your best interest to
So,
restrict some of the things sometimes.
Market-wise,
Yeah.
the hub would bring lots of trade to whatever
Yeah.
is whoever is in control of the area that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I would be supporting them. I wouldn't be doing stuff against that whoever's the country that I'm in
Yeah.
at the time.
No, I just mean like take for example, say Ebgrazan decides they want to take this territory, and they start having a war between them, and they start pulling a bunch of weapons to help with that war through your hub. Clouds does to support them. And then Ebgrazan wins the war. Ebgrazan's not going to be very happy with you, right? So it's in your interest to stay out of anything that is directly political or military. So it's likely at times you're going to restrict your operations to keep yourself out of problems, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that's my question. We can move on.
Okay, I think oh, hundreds of years, right? If they have Prince Roth and Jasmine have kids, I think it's likely that Damon and Jade have kids, but probably like centuries apart, like 100 years
Well, you're
between
both
kids. Kind of
elves,
thing.
so
Oh.
you are doing good if you have one kid. You're really lucky if you have two.
Yeah.
Um,
So
well, not two. You guys are starting the meeting, so two is pretty possible.
Well, 1 or 2 is pretty normal for elves.
Yeah. So you think Jade and Dana would have kids? I like
I
that
think,
a
like-
lot,
But the
actually.
difference over like with elves is that they'll have 1 or 2 kids over 1,000-year span,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
versus humans are having 1 to 5 kids over a 40-year span.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really cute. I actually think that's probably the only way Danon would be
yeah.
interested in being a father directly. That is kind of the like difference between the
Mhm.
Jasmine and Jade dynamic for him. Yeah, I like
So
that.
do you never come back together?
No,
So you stay disassociated forever. That trauma never gets.
not fully, but like very very functional, right?
Okay.
Where
Also, a lot of the time when it happens to people, they can't get out of it. That's
Yeah,
their
it's-
life for the rest of the
Yeah, it's not even necessarily a like thing to be fixed. That is part of who they are. It is not great for every part of their life, but nobody's way of being in the world is perfect for every part of
Yeah.
their
No,
life.
for sure. I was just curious what where
Yeah.
yeah,
going.
in real life, like personality disorders, and this is the way I've sort of cheated in D&D because I like wanted to focus on like Jasmine and Jade, the relationship between them,
Mm-hmm.
but with like DID in reality is your brain's like defense mechanism to traumatic or like stressful situations. If there isn't a current personality that like feels like it will solve the problem, they make a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So even if all of the current like
Right.
personalities, heal the like amnesia barriers or whatever, it's still like is something stressful happens and all of a sudden there's a different new person.
And also, none of us have this. So,
Yeah.
we're in dangerous territory already. And so it has always been from the outset that this is,
Yeah, it's a
this is
it's
not,
a fantasy version of
Yeah.
of something that has some of the difficulties and not nearly all of them.
any of the reality.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are not capable of accurately portraying the reality of this. And so we've been as respectful as we can with the fantasy of it.
And if we do ever do anything that you're uncomfortable with, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah.
Because we don't know.
Yeah.
And if we do know, we will stop.
Everybody's got blind spots.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And our humor is pretty dark, so
Yeah.
if you couldn't tell.
You can tell.
If there is any random concern, just know I like talk to people with these kinds of things in the creation of this character.
Mhm.
We've done our best.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay, so that's children. Is there anything else?
I don't know. I guess what does come of Lothluer and Rose Thorn Apparel?
Um, I mean,
sort of what
it
they need
is
to figure
the
out.
only way Rose Thorn Apparel survives in perpetuity is if it is like a thing Jasmine does.
Mhm.
All companies eventually come to an end. With elves at the helm,
Yeah.
they might last longer, but so too does your interest wane. So what is most likely, if Jasmine is committed to Rose Thorn Apparel, is that it is a thing with bouts of popularity. At the outset, when all of it is shiny and new, it becomes this huge, continent crawling thing,
Mhm.
which eventually dies away under other hands. And every once in a while, the legendary name resurfaces when Jasmine starts making apparel again.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll have the interest and the wherewithal to make it a whole company again, and other times it's just, this elf in the mountains is accepting orders again. So it would become a kind of name that ebbs and flows in history with her interest. Probably is the most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, if she wanted to sustain it as like a permanent thing, she could. But that would be a really big part of her identity and her life at that
Mhm.
at that point, because that just as the years stack on, that becomes more and more unlikely.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's like she works in like the next like 100 years. She's like it's a thing she's really passionate about, and then it's sort of like, well, been there, done that. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, that's most likely what it would see
yeah,
over the years as they come and go. Um, okay, anything else?
yeah. Loth Luer was the other one.
Right. So yeah, uh, like I said, that would be something Jasmine could pretty easily keep going. It would probably, at the core of it, be where Jasmine lives, the city around her or nearby her, and then the territory directly controlled by that would probably be, if she wanted to keep a handle on it, fairly unchanging, a kind of spot of calm, especially if they kept as neutral as they do. But I'm certain she would hand it off to successors at some points,
Mhm.
and it would ebb and flow, and she would have to intervene anytime it went too far in one direction.
I like to imagine like one of the kids is playing like Queen or something like game, and Jasmine's sick of like ruling, and she looks at her, and she's like, "Want to be real queen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a position." And then
Do I gotta
and then a
stop?
5-year-old was in charge of the country for 2 years.
Yeah.
The way I see it is like when something like this comes up, you might not be queen, but you might be divine mother or
Mhm.
whatever term they want to
Oh.
have, and you're like you're sometimes you're involved, sometimes you're there, and you're like, hey, this is how I want this ran. These are the fucking rules. This is kind of what I'm looking for. Be good people, and then you do your own thing, and every once in a while they get a little bit uppity or they start doing some shit, and you have to come and slap some peepees and
Oh,
come to the country and be like, no slavery, that's weird, stop it, kill
Yeah.
you, okay.
The goblins deserve 3 copper
But,
an
that's what I'm saying
hour.
is you probably every couple 100 years, maybe 80 100 150 years, you probably have to pop in, kill a bunch of your family, uh beat the shit out of a bunch of people and be
Yeah.
like, no, bad.
A
And then
cult
you
of
can,
Gorgons moved into the mountains. What are we gonna do? They took over the day.
less about Gorgons and stuff, more about people that you've
Corrupt.
let or people
Yeah.
that have gotten in
Mhm.
charge who've strayed from the way that you want things to be ran, and you have
Yeah.
to come back and be like,
Your safety net is keeping your neutrality. So likely there are periods where other people are in charge, and you have like a prime directive of like, don't cross this line. If you don't know, supplying arms to people, no getting involved militarily, and every once in a while word trickles up to you that people are not following that because corruption has grown out of control over the last 80 years, and you have to step in and do something about it. And other times, it's a little too late where it's like, oh yes, we're about to be captured, and you step in and it's like, here are the heads of the people responsible. If you really want to go to war with us, you can, but I'm involved now, so that means you're also at war with me, and I am the adventurer that I am, and so yeah.
I'm trying with my kids.
Yeah. Sorry about my kids.
Yeah.
The problem's been dealt with.
Yeah.
You can kill them if you want. If you want to come and take my city, I will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Is likely the cycle of
Yeah.
things.
dwarves are allowed in the park again. That guy's racist. He's dead. That's not how I feel.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah. The reason we segregate the
God,
resort houses
The word was
is for the
unnecessary.
is for the
The
comfort
word was
of the guests.
unnecessary.
that they'll feel comfortable sitting in any of the chairs at that resort. They'll all be the correct height.
This feels out of touch. We feel out of touch with how the world is going. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Barge.
Okay.
One thing I will say is, given the way that you live your life and the fact that it's all about luxury, the corruption will probably come on faster than normal. It breeds that sort of corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter falls in love with some guy who's like, hey, why don't you just do me a solid because
In
we're
your
so in
country.
love and let all of these weapon bundles just kind of come through. It's just a really safe area
Mom,
to
we're
move
so in
all my
love.
goods.
As like, it's like I can imagine the scene. They're standing in front of you, and like this is from Jasmine's
It's just like
perspective,
carts
and she's
on
like,
carts of
she's like,
weapons.
I really love him, and then behind him's like a whole like gun after gun, and then
Battleship.
someone stops you like, do you like this one? And she's like, oh yeah, I like that one. We're so in love.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Martial arts. How strong can I become, like, in martial arts outside of, like, character level stuff? Because I know martial arts is a thing you
Yeah.
can cultivate and grow in strength
So,
outside of character level kind of
yeah,
thing.
so the line, essentially, if you want to stay on the plane, which corresponds to how we deal with character level, if I
Yeah.
can find it here. Uh, I think it got its own tab. Yes, levels of flirtation. So, the line is Sublime Soul, okay, which corresponds to about 17, 18, which is people who are able to use their ki to sense in a very wide area around them. Like, you could try to find things in a city if you needed to. You could have a pretty perfect understanding of a castle
Yeah.
from the center of it. If you're using flying weapons, you could do them from miles away if you had some way to see, or if you could stretch your sense to follow after it. So you could become, pretty impressive that way. If you want to start going into that, that's where you start to dig into the actual laws of nature and the universe that go around it, and that's when you start to dip into divinity and would get booted.
Okay. So, yeah, it's like over 1,000 years, and I'm pretty good at it. Probably. From just a thing to do, and, like, they would probably, the things I'm good at would probably be themed around convenience and beauty over, like, mastery of battle.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
But no, I also think that Jasmine, like, centuries later, by making every mistake possible, would actually become, like, pretty competent at, like, managing large groups of people and, designing wonderful things and, like, dealing with external, like, powers.
So, how did you know that was going to happen? Let me tell you a story about Rosethorn Apparel 17. Okay, another thing you would notice on the vein of the martial arts is, like I said, the world changes a lot over 1,000 years. There is something about the territory of Yang that is uncommon in that it does shift. What doesn't happen is outside powers annexing it, which is odd. And if you live that long and are paying attention, you would probably notice that there is definitely something interfering in that. Like I talked about with Ebgarzan taking over, that would never come to full fruition. It could get to open warfare. Ebgarzan marches on clouds, and then instead of taking over like everyone expected, took their tribute and went home for some reason. There is definitely something keeping outside empires from taking over Yang, and it would become fairly obvious adopting the martial system that it has there. There is something outside of this that is keeping that from spreading widely over the world. With a little bit of paying attention. And enough time to dig into history, I don't think you guys learned in the campaign is that the martial arts that Yang uses comes from the goddess of war, and she is particular about it not
Mm.
spreading across the whole world. So every once in a while, there is some divine intervention, which is one of the few areas she will get involved politically. And in fact, if you had ended up fighting her, there would have been a little think about it between you and her.
Good thing you convinced me out of it, huh? You're lost.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it. Happy and free.
Yeah.
No more doppelganger.
No more double kick. Does anybody have anything else? Because I have one other thing.
Well, Runa hasn't done any of hers yet.
I don't do anything. Sophie isn't talk aboutable. I have to wait till I can play her again.
Yeah, so Runa was not done with Sylphie and doesn't want to write out the end of Sylphie.
Okay,
So-
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, the other thing would be to do with you, Dan, which
Sure.
is on a similar vein to things you would notice living that long. About your relationship with the hub at a certain level of power, with you, able like having avatar that you send over, you would eventually
Mhm.
get invited to have a meeting with the god of lies, who
Well-
was previously Jasmine's god.
Okay.
And he would specifically outline to you that at the level you've reached, if you throw your weight around too much in the material plane, he'll throw his weight around in your backyard. And it'll
Like
be
in the flame of fire.
wherever is important to you. The thing that will become clear is there's a reason there are planets in the astral sea that are under a single organization that could easily get magic, letting them send people en masse to the material plane. And he is a big part of why that doesn't happen. Why the people who came to deal with your portal did so using legal problems and stuff, and
Okay.
didn't just send an army through, is because when you get to that level of power, if you want to go fuck around in the material plane, he'll go fuck around in your backyard. So you would get that meeting, which would be very genial, but the threat would be very implicit underneath of like, you're now too strong to go and take over a section of the material plane.
You're strong. I'm
I would
watching
tell
you
him,
now.
I'm like,
Yes, yeah.
so the conversation would go very much. Sorry, I should sit towards more. The conversation would go very much. I'm not looking to be a lord or a baron or a king kind of thing. I have my small. I'm going to point out 3 or 4 square kilometer area that I have,
Mhm.
and this is my little spot of the material plane that uh, I have descendants and people that I care about and my legacy. And as long as people don't fuck with me, I'm not causing issues here.
Yeah. So you would find yourself sitting across from him at probably a meeting table in what looks like a nice office.
Yeah.
And he would have outlined, probably not in completely direct terms, like the threat would be kind of
Mhm.
implicit in it. And if you
That's it's a nice place you got there. I really hope you don't go using it for good or like for bad, you know?
Yeah, it would be along the lines of, kid, there's a lot of people with the kind of power you have that could make a serious dent on the material plane, and
Or
it's in
stop that.
everyone's interest to play nice and keep their power on the outside of it. And so I make sure that happens.
And basically, my only thing was is the only time that I'm gonna step in is if
Mhm.
somebody of my caliber comes to fuck with my shit.
Totally. Yeah.
And like same thing. I'm sure that you have places of interest on this plane that you might step in to make sure that they stay around.
Fallow's castle. He'd always stuck in the famous castle.
Ballo?
Yeah, his
We're
floating
talking.
castle.
We're talking about the god of lies, not Ballo, though.
Yeah.
I know, but to keep things forever, like a landmark in your world, Ballo would fight to the end of the world to keep his castle.
Yeah,
That's a
totally.
forever in your world.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
And his reply would be, you do what you have to,
okay.
and I suggest you keep any serious scuffles on this side of the barrier.
Sure. I guess I tell him, I'm like, hey, you know what? Like I said, if somebody comes along of my caliber that's gonna fuck with my stuff, I'm like, shoot me a text. I'll help you out. If there's somebody causing problems that you need dealt with, that you know what I mean? Like I'm of the same feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I already kept some people out of your business early on,
Thank you.
and I'll have some work for you.
Okay, cool. And then I guess like for like the hub, because the hub's gonna be around for the next 10,000
Mm.
years or whatever. Because I guess like everything dies.
Oh, Huso said, do they pick chosen so they're not directly involved with fucking up stuff? Yeah, you know,
Ideally,
a
yeah.
lot of groups do that. There's, you know, it becomes a game of brinkmanship, right? Where it's like, you know, if Nuldir sends a chosen down but gives it too much divine power, then this god's going to send a chosen down with too much divine power. So the gods, at least
Yeah.
the champions of the gods, are limited to one artifact that shows them as their hero each, which is why you guys have bumped into those artifacts.
I own one.
Your Sylphie is using one right now, and each god gets one, and nobody has problems.
Yeah, there's oh, well, I'll talk about that after. But
Yeah.
basically, I'm about 40 feet from the hub
Mhm.
when I'm in my palace.
Yeah.
But that's a very long 40 feet for me to get over there.
Yes.
And there needs to be a lot of very horrible things happening for me to walk that 40 feet.
Yeah, well, and to give you an idea of the sort of cost, at the scale that Cyrus is planning on operating and the level he's planning on operating, for you, when you're strong enough to not be able to go over yourself, to send an avatar that is like, say, like level 2, level 3, but just gives you like direct eyes and ears in there, probably would cost you like 5 to 10 years of operations. If you wanted to send an avatar at like 18th level where you could throw some actual weight around, is going to be probably a few thousand years of work wiped out that you have to build back up. Like, it is not easy for the divines to send avatars over.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the like. So then I guess like just going forward with the lore and everything in your world, the hub will be a thing for unless you
the
decide
hub-
to wipe it off the earth, I guess. But we'll
Well,
do that.
it'll be a spot. It will be, I think that's something interesting about having characters that grow out of the plane is you end up with these little bubbles that are kind
Yeah.
of locked in time while the rest of the world
That's
moves.
cool. I wanted to talk about so there's a book a series I read called He Who Fights with Monsters,
Okay.
and there's a lot of gods, and one of the gods is called Hero,
Okay.
and basically his power is is our hero or heroism, I can't remember. He has a chalice, and basically in times of strife or severe, basically when someone would need a hero, he can show up and he can offer somebody to drink from his chalice,
Mm-hmm.
and it will turn them into basically a demigod
Right.
for about a day or however long it takes them to finish whatever the not like a war, but like the immediate thing that
Whatever
they're
the
dealing with,
threat is, yeah.
and then they die.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a true death.
Right.
Like there's no resurrection
Yeah.
from it.
There's
Like
no coming back.
it's you've chose. He gives them the option.
Yeah.
He's like you've chose to drink from the child, like the chalice of heroism
Yeah.
of hero, and you've chose to be a hero, but understand that like that you're like it's you get this and then you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a final decision.
Yeah, because he says heroes don't live forever.
Mhm.
You can't be a hero if you're still around.
Right. Yeah. I like that.
It's a really cool
That
concept,
is
and
cool.
that's his only power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he has the normal power of like a god, like he
Right.
can throw his weight around, but he's like, that's my thing. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I
like
show
it.
up in times of strife, and I give someone.
It's funny because that's really similar to how the Goddess of War is in my world. Not in such a perhaps genteel way, but like she'll watch a war going on and one side is getting crushed, and she'll just be like, that soldier, the cannon fodder there is now a 20th level paladin. Let's see how this plays out now.
That's my character.
That is-
That's my Saturday character.
yeah, your Saturday character.
He's a chosen
Yeah.
thing.
And most of the time they die in whatever conflict they're fighting. And yeah, Runa's playing a character in our Saturday campaign who had that experience, lived through it, is no longer the 18th level paladin he was for a few moments, but is has decided to devote themselves to Cyril.
I try to teach kids about it.
There've been some fun moments.
Where it's
Yeah,
like
that'd be everything for me.
it's like a 5-year-old, and my guy's like, "You should join Cirrus." And the kid's like, "How do you join Cirrus?" And he's like, "Oh, just join a mercenary group.
Go be a mercenary.
Just
That'll work
casually
out.
go be a mercenary."
They have a great life expectancy.
Mhm.
Okay, well then in that case, does anybody have anything else?
No.
Well, folks, this has been campaign 1, technically the second campaign, but it is our first campaign that, other than one episode, is fully available on YouTube and on Spotify. I posted episode. I have episode 74 ready to post, and then there will be this episode, and that is the campaign.
Thanks, guys.
So, some notes about what's coming next. So we are going into campaign 2. We're taking a little break before campaign 2, and we're going to have
Alex
a
says he-
long-time friend of the
Alex
show.
says he loved watching it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. We're going to have a longtime friend of the show, Raven, run a little mini adventure for us. I'm going to get to be a player, which is very exciting for me. And we're going to do some kids on brooms. I think she said it's going to be about 3 sessions. I'm going to try to have all my back end work for the next campaign done by that. But there is a chance we go on a little hiatus where we might do some non-D&D stuff for a few weeks while I get everything set up for the next campaign.
Lazy DM.
Alex has agreed to do some of my writing for me.
Just now,
Just now, actually. But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, everybody.
It's actually really busy, you
Yeah.
guys.
Are.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Monday.
Looking forward to campaign 2. Any
6
start
to
date?
10.
No start date yet.
So
Alright.
yeah, the earliest it'll start is 4 weeks.
Right
From
now, we're
is the
gonna
earliest
transition
it'll
into
start.
session
We're hoping
1.
probably early September.
It is, yeah, it's looking like probably early September. Yeah, so if everything goes perfectly, we'll have 3 more weeks where we play Ravens sessions and then start the campaign. If things don't go perfectly, it'll maybe be 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But man, thank you everybody for coming through this campaign with us. There have been so many ups and downs from start to finish. People we've met. I'm always really sad when a campaign ends because there's so many characters and NPCs that I just won't get to spend time with in the same way ever again. And it, as much as many of them are made up, it still feels like saying goodbye to some people I had a ton of fun with.
That one guy from the Golden Fan with a boat,
Yeah, right? I
never got to go on a date with him.
never coming up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, guys. This is Adventure Corp. We'll see you next week, 6 to 10 Mountain Standard Time. Like I said, Twitch is the best place. Or you can get us on YouTube to watch our past videos and or we watch podcasts.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody. And bye, Yuso. He said take care.
Bye.
Cut it.
What? You can't tell me what to do.
Get over here.